Good morning, Drunvalo.
Good morning, Michelle.
So Drunvalo, because we have so many requests from people from all over the world to learn more about your work, I would like you to emphasize and to give us some feedback and experience that you had with this new workshop called Awakening the Illuminated Heart.
This new work is actually very similar to the old work in a lot of ways. It's been rearranged in a very special way. It's subtle but very powerful.
When I was asked to teach this work, I was asked to begin with the Merkaba, and then slowly through the Earth Sky Heart Workshop, we revealed how you had to then open the pineal chakra and open the beams of light, and from there to the heart space, and then from there through the tip of the tongue, reconnecting the heart back to the brain, which brought everything together into one unit.
And the reason was because the Merkaba is very logical, it's geometrical, it's mathematical, and it would attract the men, and it did. The men came in, the ratio was about 60% female, 40% males, and it worked. But it had many side effects that I don't know if everybody understood it or not, because in the way that we were presenting the Merkaba, the ego was still intact, and that caused huge problems all around the world. And so there was nothing anybody could do about it because of the way we were until recently. And over the last 20 years, humanity has changed dramatically. We have begun to accept the female aspect of the world more. And so now, the Ascended Masters felt we are now in position to do this the proper way. And so they asked me, it was actually back in 2010 to begin to develop this. And so in July we presented it for the first time. And it is very different on how it's received. In the old way, the people were just learning the Merkaba, but it wasn't enough. That's only a piece of the consciousness connection. And so they had to come back to another workshop, which was called Earth Sky Heart Workshop, to get the rest of that information. But it was still being received, and the way it was going was still backwards from the Merkaba all the way back to the heart. And that also still had problems. This new way, it is the way that was developed over literally billions of years. And it's very smooth, it's easy to understand, and the most difficult part of it, which is the Merkaba, is super easy in this one because it happens automatically. It's permanent instantaneously. You don't have to do anything afterwards. And it just begins to function on the highest level that normally takes 2 years in the other one. We feel it is superior and better, and that's why we introduced this. And it's also easier to understand. Because the complexity has been dropped so dramatically. And so it's coming in just at the last minute, kind of, because if we accept that we are in the final minutes of all of this before this transformation takes place on Earth, it's appropriate, because you wouldn't even be able to get your Merkaba permanent in the length of time that we probably have. And so this is a very good thing that's happening right now. In the last 13,000 years, we really have not been connected both to nature or to the source of life. And in modern times, we have made it final. Normally, when we walk on the earth, we are connected to the earth, and the earth actually puts an energy from the earth to our bodies. It's just negative electrons. And those things are needed for us to remain healthy. And we've even severed that. We wear insulated shoes. We live in houses that are sitting on concrete foundations, which is an insulation. And we have no access to even being connected on a very simple level to the earth. And it has a lot to do with why we're getting so sick all over the world. Through the Awakening the Illuminated Heart, it connects us directly back to nature and to life everywhere. And this will bring us back into a healthy way of being Eventually, it's going to take a while. Eventually, it's only a few people. Even if there was 1 million people, that's not very many relative to 7 billion people in the world. But those people will have a huge influence in the world, I believe, as we see this all unfold. If you are drawn, if you feel that you should be part of that, then you need to know how to do this, and how to return to a way of living where you see everything from a heart-based way of perceiving life rather than a brain-based way, which is polarized, and we judge every single thing that we see. Mother Earth and Father Sun are higher aspects of our consciousness, and through our heart we are able to perceive them directly and connect directly with them and communicate just like we are now. And that presents a huge advantage in life. We first begin with our heart, we connect into it, and then slowly we begin to understand the brain, and all this is connected, and alas, the brain function, which is the Merkaba, begins to become real. And once all that is connected, there are options in life that are not available to someone that doesn't have that kind of connection. If you're functioning just through the brain, your options are extremely limited compared to someone who is living through their heart and are connected back to their brain in a more technological way. Really, the only way that someone in this audience would really understand what this means is by living it and doing it. You can talk about it forever, and it doesn't really express what happens when you are living inside of your heart.